Good morning. It is Tuesday morning. It is 11:52. We're just about to leave the house. Stephen's in the shower, just having a shower. He's complaining to me that I don't know how to do this DSLR, and it is a bit stinky. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you little Bill at the window. That's her position. She likes to watch everybody going past. So the girls have had a run about this morning whilst we've been getting ready. I had some admin work to do at home, but look how glorious the sunshine is. Yes, lovely day today. Anyway, we are just going to get ourselves organised, head up to the shop. Lots to do today, lots of admin to do, and obviously pre-tournament prep. The Scottish Recreational Bowl tournament is this weekend. So Stephen is away over the weekend with the Glasgow Mustangs. He is their head coach, along with Lewis. And they're taking the team to Dumfries to compete in the SIHA Bowl. So we'll be closed on Saturday. And I get to spend the weekend with our children. I mean it beautifully. I've got lots to do at my mum's. We are in the process of helping her clear out her loft, and amongst other things. But yeah, lots and lots and lots of stuff going on. Lots of personal stuff going on just now, as well as just trying to survive the summer. So anyway.
So it is Tuesday. I think Pam's already gave you the time and the date earlier on in the video. You can see him in the store. It has been very busy so far. We have had about 6 or 7 sharpenings that's happened so far, and I'm in the process of doing a couple just now. So today's plans are, I have a couple of pairs of skates that need eyelets, a couple of pairs of skates that need rivets, and quite a lot of skates that need sharpening so far. I've also got a profile that I never got the chance to do over the weekend. So I've got to profile the steels. Once I profile the steels, then I can get them back on the skates, and the customer should be in to get his seat mould on his new graph. I think most of the other things that are happening today is customer collections. So first major job that I've had to do today, like I said, was I had profiling to do. Now this was what the steels look like here. There's not very much steel there at all, and this is now the shape of the new steels. I've tried to leave as much steel as possible on them. I obviously tried to shape them. They're nowhere near the same shape as what these were, but if I then start taking that amount of steel off of them, they'll make them brittle. So I've only taken a little bit off the toe and the heel just now, just to try and get the customer by with. He's going to need to go and break in the skates anyway, and he actually might like having a slightly bigger steel because he's had these skates for at least 20 years, or roughly about maybe 15. These are the original steels. They're all the original eyelets, and they've got all the original rivets as well. It just shows you that people can actually take care of their stuff, and you might not have to do much repairs on a pair of skates like that. Like I said, they haven't even had a pair of steels in the time that he's had them. They're the original steels, and they're immaculate. See, if you take the insole out of them and look at the footbed, the original rivets are absolutely perfect. You can tell they're a wee bit old, there's a wee bit of rust, but not a lot. So next job we have a pair of Bauer Hyperlight 2s, which are customs, which have came in from the clan sale. As we can see, the name is there. And we've got basically a couple of eyelets that had to be done on them, so the eyelets have been done. I actually let the owner of the skates do the eyelets because he was desperate to have a shot at trying it. So now what I have to do is I actually have to try and see if I can shape his steels and get his steels looking a little bit more uniformed. So I'm going to try and get his steels shaped and sharpened. Now he gets them in a specific shape, and the sharpening depth is 1/4. So that is his technical shape right there. So we have to try and match the other ones. I think that won't actually be the case because some of the steels are a bit off, especially at the heel, just in that area. But I'll do my best to try and see if I can get them all to match. 2:33 in the afternoon. This is the first chance I'm going to get a chance at sitting down. Pamela was meant to tell you the time and the date when she started the video earlier on, but she didn't. So the date is the 29th of April and it is Tuesday. So we're in the process, or I was in the process of doing a lot I had to watch what I was saying there. I was going to swear, but I've decided against it. I was doing a lot of sharpenings today. So in between the sharpenings, I've had a heat mould and I've had 3 profiles as well with regards to changing the shape of the steels. David had came in to get his skates done, which he got at the clan sale. And David decided that when he was sitting watching me sharpen the skates, and when he knew how much work I had to do, because he thought it was being a hindrance to me, that he decided that he wanted to take a pair of skates apart. So I had to do a wee bit of staff training and show David how to take a pair of skates apart so that he could get them ready for me to put the inline chassis on. So he's decided to do that, and he's went away all proud of himself because he's managed to take off the holder and the blades from the skate. So we now have a Hyperlight pair of skates which is ready to get chassis put on them. So what I'm going to do is get myself organised and then get back in the back store and then get the chassis installed, which means it's just literally a case of drilling some holes and putting the chassis on, and which will probably do a little bit of time lapse for you for this one, because it was meant to be my whole episode about taking them apart and putting them back together, but David's kind of scuppered me with that one. He's kind of done all of that work and never recorded anything because he didn't want to be on camera. That was the first thing, and the second thing was I think he's on the spectrum with the ADHD. He's wired to the moon, but he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant, but he just cannot sit still. So when he came in, he's just like a hurricane in the back store doing everything while I was sharpening. Yeah, he's like a mature Sam, like my son. But anyway, I will get on with this. Like I say, 2:33 in the afternoon. I've got a couple of messages on my phone that I'm going to have to reply back to, which is unusual because I'm actually getting a chance to look at my phone. Then we'll get back onto the Hyperlight stuff. So next time you'll see me is on time lapse. Right, so I had originally said to you that the next time you'd have seen me was time lapse, but I may have just had a special delivery that Pamela might actually have an opportunity to unbox if she's puts what she's doing just now, so she can.
Give me 2 minutes.
I have got no patience for you today, so hurry up. Come on.
Patience in general.
I know I've got no patience in general, but I'm waiting on you and I'm recording, so that means that you have to be doing what I'm telling you.
I don't have to do anything.
Staff training, come on, let's go. Open the box. What's in the box, Pam? What's in the box, Pam? Pam, what's in the box?
That's what's in the box, Pam.
So, what have we got?
Well, it's a stick.
What kind of stick?
It's an extremely light Kyc Skyline.
I was trying to kind of like zoom in on the name of it there, but you keep moving it. You're meant to be helping me, you're hindering. Holy sh! That's light. That is extremely light. Extremely light. What about the Phantom? How does that feel?
Light.
The clan fans will love that. Look at the colours. That's a wee bit heavier. But it's still, yeah, like, you don't play, I know. The difference between the feel of them is I can definitely feel that the Skyline is the lightest out of the two of them. That is extremely light in comparison to the Phantom. So we'll get them out the wrappers and get a proper look at them now that Pamela's unboxed them. Right, so a couple of key features that we were just kind of discussing off camera there is how light these sticks actually are. Now, this stick here that I'm holding at the moment, the Skyline, is 330 grams. It is extremely light, one of the lightest sticks I think I've ever felt. If you look here, I don't know if it'll pick it up on camera, it says Skyline and we have a lighthouse just here. Then you're going to move up a little bit more. Try to see what part it is. There it is. You've got the New Brunswick Skyline and the logo. It's quite a rounded shaped shaft. It does actually feel like the equivalent of a 1X. Maybe very, 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 very close to being like a 1X. It's the rounded shaft shape. It's very nice. It's extremely light. So this is obviously my first impressions and first look at them. And the second one that we have here is the Phantom X. The Phantom X is 350 grams with advanced carbon layering. You can see some camouflage in the actual logo. It's purple with blue specks and black. Looks like it's got like a paint splatter effect on this part here on the shaft. Very, very, very nice. Extremely light as well. But really, really good to actually get a chance to try them on the ice. Unfortunately, just now these are the sample models that we will be showing to different players and different teams. But hopefully we can get some more orders in the next little while. Once we get them in, we'll get them on the ice and start giving you our honest review on them. Obviously, these are something that we're going to be selling in our store. They're the only place in the UK that will be able to retail these, so they will be available on our website very, very, very soon, if not already. Right, so the time is 5:39, and again I didn't get much recorded on the installation of the inline chassis. The reason being is Tony came in and started talking to me, and I started coming into a little bit of issues with the installation. I was having problems getting some of the steels to line up with the holes, so I had to then try and find a drill that was slightly longer. So I didn't want to do any of that on the video. Basically what was happening was when I was drilling the holes were going at a slight angle because the chuck from the drill was touching off the chassis, so I had to try and see if I could get them drilled out. So I finally managed to get them drilled, and then I ended up, when I was trying to install them, I think there was about 4 or 5 of the standard steels wouldn't go in properly. So I ended up destroying about 4 or 5 of them, and I had to remove them. So I got to that stage where I thought it'd be better just doing it off a camera. So I managed to do it off camera, no problem. We've got the chassis now fitted to the skates, and they are just literally ready for wheels and bearings, which are on order. The customer doesn't need them for at least another month to 2 months, but he's obviously decided that he's going to go ahead and get them done now, because we have got a couple of days where we are going to be closed. We're obviously going to be closed on the Saturday this week, which will be, the Saturday is going to be the 3rd of May, and then we're going to be closed again on the 31st of May for both of the tournaments that my team's attending. So because I'm head coach of a team, I've got to be there for both events. So I'm going to run the bench for one of them, and I'm playing in the other one. So we're going to go and see how we do at these events. But for today, that is me more or less finished. It's been one of the days where it has been excessively warm in the store today. I am exhausted today. Completely and utterly exhausted today. Again, I was awake until probably about 4 or 5 this morning. I've got this kind of habit, I'm now calling it a habit, where I go home and I edit and I manage to get as much done as possible, and then I lose so much time when I'm editing because I try and get as much done as possible, and then when I finally realise what the time is, it's time to go to bed, and then I'm up within like maybe 2, 3, 4 hours. So I've kind of turned night into day when it comes to the editing, trying to kind of keep up with things. We have had a lot of stuff that's going on in the store. As I've said to you before, we are now becoming the only store in the UK where you can purchase Kyc products. So we will be the exclusive retailer for Kyc sticks, gloves and bags when the bags are due to come out, and when the gloves come out. We got our sample sticks in today. So we have our samples, and I say it, we have our samples. We have both models of the sticks that the Kyc are going to be retailing, or we're going to be retailing on behalf of Kyc. We've obviously got the Skyline. Now the Skyline looks pretty clean. I like the white and the silver up at the top, and then obviously it kind of goes into a kind of, on the back side it goes into a kind of nice kind of reddish, kind of pinkish kind of colour, maybe even slightly bronze. And then obviously if we then go further down the shaft, it goes back to a kind of standard black shaft and black blade, which I think is very, very nice. It's very understated. The hints of chrome as well on the shafts are very, very nice also. That's for the Skyline. And for the Phantom X, the Phantom X is quite a nice colour scheme. I like the purple and I like the black. It's very, very nice. It also comes with blue spots on the actual shaft as well, with textile grip as well, and that obviously in my opinion looks very, very nice. It looks very, very Nexus-esque with regards to the way that it looks and feels. I could probably compare them to multiple different sticks. I could probably say the Skyline feels like a vapor stick of old. It feels quite round and obviously quite a nice feel, very, very, very light. I would surmise that it'll be very, very responsive when it's on the ice, but obviously I can't try it just yet because one, they don't come in my spec from the factory. They have to be made for me, and there's one on the way that has been made for me, and I will be product testing that as soon as it gets here. And obviously with this one here, it feels, like I said, it feels like one of two sticks. It could feel like a ribcore stick, or it feels like a model of a Supreme stick. Again, extremely light, and I would imagine that it will be extremely responsive. These two sticks are probably the two lightest sticks I think I've ever felt, and most of the sticks I use are about 3-4 inches longer than these. I'll be very, very interested to feel how much lighter they're going to be than my standard stick that I'm using at the moment. I am actually chopping and changing between a few different sticks at the moment. I'm using a Sherwood Wrecker from Old, which was originally meant to be the lightest stick on the market. You're probably talking nearly 10 years ago. And then I am also using a Warrior SL at the moment, which feels very, very similar to this because of the grip and the shaft shape. Obviously it's not this one here. The Phantom X is a mid kick, and for example your Skyline is going to be a low kick, but I'm very, very, very happy to have the opportunity to be able to retail these products. And there is another company that we are actually dealing with at the moment. It's just we haven't been able to get back to them just yet, due to the fact that we are in the process of big things happening out with the store. We will talk a wee bit more about that later on when it actually happens, but again I can't really say much about it at the moment, just for the fact that it's not really fair to talk about it at this precise moment. So we will talk about it in the near future, but again, big things coming at home, and obviously big things hopefully coming with the store. So with regards to the Kyc products and possibly another couple of brands coming on board with Cold Blooded Sports, we are trying to see if we can push for the only places in the UK to be able to sell these products, to kind of not necessarily corner the market on them. It's more the fact that if we are going out our way to buy into that company, we want to be the only place where you can get it, due to the fact that we will put our heart and our soul into it. Now I know that obviously we are still, like I've said before, still going to use the top three brands, which is Bauer, Warrior and CCM, not necessarily in that order. If you were basically talking about how much you actually sell, I would probably say we are very, very Warrior and CCM dominant, and that's not a dig at Bauer in any way, shape or form. It's just we find that we can sell the top end products from them, and that's one of the reasons why we are kind of relatively more dominant towards their products. What we are also seeing is the secondary brands that are coming back into play, like Sherwood, like Graf coming back in with their skates is massive in the last little while, especially with the Ultra Cs, and especially with Sherwood with their stick ranges, their codes and their series, their Legend series and stuff like that. We're seeing a lot of them selling more and more than, say for example, your top end Warriors, CCMs and your Bowers. Now again, I don't know how much of the market we're going to corner with the Kyc stuff. We are going to be directly probably trying to contact more teams and try and get down the team route. Obviously we can do custom gloves through them, we can do custom sticks as well, so we now are able to offer a full custom program, and there's no minimum order on that as well, it's just time. One of the things that Kyc and ourselves have spoken about in great depth was us not holding a lot of stock in the store. Now that might come across as, why are you selling my product? If that is the case, the reason why we are talking about selling their product is because it's more bespoke to you guys. What that means is you will be able to come into the store, look at some of the sticks that we have in store, and then you'll be able to make custom options for them. Predominantly it will be more customised. If you decide you want to go off the shelf and you want to buy just a standard stick, well, that is not a problem as well. We will have a small stock in store, but predominantly we will be looking down at the custom route. And when I say the custom route, it will be custom colours, custom flexes, custom curves, whatever you guys are looking at, we should be able to offer that. But again, this is me finished for today. We will see you again tomorrow. Just so you guys see, it's 5 o'clock. I got here 1 minute ago and I'm in the process of just opening up the store. Just to say, I am here. Sorry for the lighting change. It's obviously a bit dark in the store. I'm just about to go and put the lights on, so I'll take you with me as I go to do that and unlock the door. Right, so lots of stuff happening today. I have a lot of tournament prep to get done. So my team is playing in the Scottish Bowl tournament on Saturday and Sunday. So I have quite a few of the boys that are needing their skates sharpened, and I've got a pair of goalie skates that have to be given a once over as well. So I think I've got about 4 sets of steels in my bag that have to be done. So that's one of the things I'm going to do. The time and date is Wednesday the 30th of April. It's, like I said, 5 PM. I'm going to go and get myself organised and set up now, and then I'll come back and see you guys. So sorry for the excessive wind noise, if you can hear that. Hopefully I'll get rid of that editing. So here's what I'm working with tonight. This is what I've got so far. I've got a couple of pairs of steels. I've got another pair of latex steels that are sitting here that have to be put into these skates, into a pair of bowlers. 3 sharpens here, a couple of sharpens on the machine, and lo and behold, here we have a pair of goalie skates that have to be given a once over. And this is the steels that have came from my training. So there is Cammie's steels, there's Maggie's steels, there's Brian's steels, and my own steels that are all in for a little bit of TLC. Apologies for the camera work. I am trying to do everything and it's not working. So I'll go and do this and come back to you soon.
Hello. Well, it's been a very, very, very busy night, hasn't it, Stephen?
Yes, haven't been off the machine.
I've had to open the back door because it's like a sweatshop in here. And Stephen's #1 fan is on the go. So it's been very, very, very busy tonight. Very, very warm. And we think we've got half an hour left. 20 minutes left, so that'll be probably the last one's getting done now, and we will be getting cashed up and shut up.
Right, so it's 7:51. I've still got tons of stuff to do. I've just had an inline repair that has to be done as soon as possible, and it's basically a tongue repair, so I'm going to just quickly take you through. Apologies for the shaky camera work. It's been a very, very busy night so far. So we have a pair of mission inlines that have to have the tongue replaced. Now, what's happened with these is that the actual part of the tongue is broken off, or the toe box is broken off. So I'm going to have to try and sew this back into the toe box. I have another pair of Max skates that's been bought at the clan sale, and unfortunately the customer has bought wrong steels for them and has asked me to, believe it or not, trying to modify them to get them to fit in these holders, which I have done before. I actually done a pair for Matt Haywood back in the day, I say back in the day, it was like a couple of months back, when he got his new skates and he was wanting to use his old steels. I still have a lot of steels that are left to do. I have Cammie's steels that need to be done for the weekend, for Saturday morning they have to be done. I have Maggie's skates that have to get done, or Maggie's steels. I have Brian's steels that have to be done, and I have my own that have to be done. I decided to bring my own tonight because I was going to do a little bit of work on them. And usually what I say when I do a little bit of work on them is I will run them through the cross grind and flatten them off from this point here and this point here to take away a bit of the rocker, which gives me a little bit more purchase on the ice. The reason why I thought about doing that is I've just literally had a skate in my True Skates. Now, Tony had brought me the new tongues, and you've probably seen what tongues are better, so I'm now here to tell you that the Pro aftermarket ones are the best out of the lot of them. I've now felt like that is literally what the skates should come like. I know that my opinion doesn't really matter, but with regards to the True Skates, I would say if you have the opportunity to upgrade the tongues, please do, because it is one of the best upgrades you'll make on these skates. Obviously, when I get skates, I upgrade usually the tongue, I upgrade the holder and the steel, because I don't trust anything other than a CCM holder and a step steel. Or, say for example, when I'm saying that I don't trust anything other than a step steel, I trust a JRZ steel. I would love to try Blade Tech, and I would love to get a chance at having a shot of them. Just at the moment, I've heard a lot of different things. I would really like to try and reach out to them to try and see if there's UK distribution rights available for their product. But again, this is me probably giving way too much away. I'd love to be able to offer that. But a friend of mine was down at another store just recently, and they told me it was somewhere in the region of £10,000 for an initial stock order that you have to spend, so that's probably out with the reach of Cold Blooded for just now. It may be something that we can look at in the future, but at the moment, not right now. Another thing that I did notice, so today's date is the Wednesday the 30th of April, and I did notice that Hockey Tutorial they have just received their order of KYC sticks which I think we got them exactly the same day. So yes, again, I've got them here. We will be the only store in the UK that can sell KYC products. We have got a 2-year deal in place with them at the moment, and it may continue on if we get enough sales and if we see the brand partnership doing well. So obviously another model that we have here is the Phantom X. These will be available on our website very soon. There will be customizable options on these as well. If you decide to go down the custom route for these, there will be 7 to 10 weeks, roughly estimated, 7 to 10 weeks delivered to us. So that's hopefully what's going to be happening in the next little while if you decide that you want to go down the route of having them different colours, different lengths, different grips, different flexes, different curves, different blade finishes, different textiles. We will be able to offer that, and it will be handled by ourselves, and it will come direct from the factory to us and then direct to you guys. So again, when we are talking about the pricing structure for these sticks, right, so my lovely assistant Pamela has now upgraded me to knowing the prices, finally.
Furnished me with my prices.
So my lovely assistant Pamela has now furnished me with new prices, and I can let you know off the top of my head and my piece of paper that is here. Senior sticks will start at £195. That is off the shelf Phantoms and Skylines. Your intermediate sticks will come in at £190, your junior sticks will come in at £150, and your youth sticks will come in at £145. Now there is another variant, and the other variant of stick will be the light edition, or the light variant. And what that means is you'll be able to buy a light variant of either the Phantom or the Skyline stick, but it will be made slightly heavier, roughly 400 grams, with a variant of 15 grams either side. So it could be 385, it could be 415, or 400 on the nose. You never know, there could be a slight variance in weight. They will be made slightly more durable, and this is to target more specifically kids and adults that are playing beer league. People that don't want to go and buy the top of the range pro model stick and don't have it exceedingly light, they want a stick that will maybe last a little bit longer. Pamela, in my opinion here, is looking at the pricing structure right now, and that's something that we're obviously going to look at and be able to offer the light variants in both the Phantom and the Skyline. The way that we are going to be looking at doing this at present is it will be an order basis for the sticks. We will have some stock in store, but it depends how much stock we are deciding that we're going to hold. When we've spoken to the owners at KYC, they're quite happy for us to do it on order only basis, and what that basically means is if you come in and you say to us that you would like this model of stick with curve, flex, grip, whatever, they will do the order for you. They'll make that happen for you, and most of the stuff is going to be made to order. The light variant of the sticks for the Phantom and the Skyline will come in at senior prices £150, intermediate will come in at £140, junior will come in at £110, and youth will come in at £105. Now, both of these models of sticks, whether it be the Pro model or the light variant, they're going to blow a lot of these stick manufacturers out the water. And yeah, I know you're probably thinking, yeah, well, you're going to say that because you're retailing them. I haven't tried them yet. If I try them and I don't get on with them, I will tell you guys this, because I am more honest than I should be when it comes to hockey equipment. I tell you everything that happens out with the store and in the store. So something that we will be looking at is we will be doing a product test on these. I have got a custom variant of the Skyline on the way. These sticks do take a little bit more time to come, so because of my curve, flex, length, grip, whatever else, it's going to take a wee bit longer for me to get my hands on them in my spec. So as soon as I get my hands on the spec, I will take it on the ice and I will give you my first impressions, and I'll give you a review of the product. Now, there's no point me using an 85 flex, because 90% of the time I would go through an 85 flex, an 85 flex, and I would have to put a 3.5 inch extension in them. So with that said, I will come back to you once I have a look at these products and see how they are. So anyway, I am going to go and get these steel sharpened, and I also have Stuart's skates in the bag as well, who is one of my goalies. So I have to make sure that his skates are pristine for the tournament at the weekend. Now, obviously, the way that this is working this weekend, we will be closed on the Saturday. Now, you'll see this, by the time you see this, there's no point in me saying that we're closed on this date because, well, we're going to be closed for the tournament, and by that time you see it, it's probably a month down the line. But yeah, we are going to be closed on Saturday and we will be attending the bowl tournament. Back to Pam. We'll see what Pamela's got to say before we finish up for tonight.
Pam has been very, very busy tonight with all the customers coming in and out, sharpenings, multitudes of tape. Can I get 6 rolls of tape? Can I get 8 rolls of tape? Can I get 5 rolls of tape? So we've a lot of tape sold tonight, a lot of everything sold tonight, and I'm just working on a couple of emails that I've been trying to get done since we came in tonight. I got one sentence written and then it went bananas, so I'm kind of finishing that off tonight. Obviously I'm conscious of the time, it's 8:05, but our children are with my mum, so I can work on a little bit, a wee bit extra, just to get these kind of admin emails away in preparation for the weekend. And yeah, that's kind of where we are. So I'm just going to finish this email and mop up any other admin, get cashed up, and then we should be kind of finished off.
So what have they got to do?
Like, share and subscribe, and also get your friends to like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to keep it cold-blooded.
And what are we on the road to? Oh my goodness me, she doesn't know. The road to 400 is on.
The road to 400 road to 400 subscribers is on, and the road to monetization is on, so hurry up.
Well, the monetization aspect doesn't happen until you get even more. There's 1,000 subscribers for that.
Even more, so let's go, let's do this. Like, share, subscribe, get your friends to do it, and don't forget to keep it cold-blooded.